Good morning, Zambia. Welcome to the Morning Blend. We are so delighted that you could join us this morning, Saturday, the 5th of July, 2025. Joining with me today in the studio is Godfrey Chikumbi. He is back after an absence for a number of weeks. Godfrey, we are so happy to have you back with us on the Morning Blend.
It's actually good to be back on the Morning Blend where we wake up to what matters the most. We have a lot of interesting items lined up. I hope you're fine, Sarah.
Yes, I'm well. How are you?
You look good.
We actually missed you a lot. Thank you very much. You look good too.
You too, people.
Okay, so what do you have for us this morning? What do you have for us this morning?
Of course, as a ritual, we're going to be heading into the news headlines. We have the news headlines coming up. Of course, it's about to get down. It's Mutomboko month.
Right.
You correct me, Umutomboko.
Umutomboko of the Lunda people.
Yes. The Midlands Organizing Committee, the chairperson, of course, Mr. Malumpa, will be here to try and explain stuff about what is going to happen, how different the Mutomboko of this year is going to be. And of course, government has introduced the implementation of the voluntary national service training.
Oh, yes. I've seen that.
We will be privileged to be hosting the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Defense, Mambo Hama Undu.
Interesting. I'd like to hear more about that issue, you know, because there's just a lot of talk going around. Oh, ZNS is coming back. So now everybody's wondering, are they going to make all of us start doing frog jumps, you know, in the streets?
Well,
so
we
want to hear more about that. That'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
Sarah, as per our custom, we have a special musician
awesome.
coming to try and inject some bit of energy in the studio, and that is Bishop Nkongolo.
The Congolese pastor, Bishop.
Is he Congolese?
He's now doing music?
He's combined well with Mumbayachi.
Oh, that's an interesting combination, actually.
We are hoping it's going to be the one that is singing this morning.
Awesome.
That's how it looks, but don't forget that sports will be coming up as well.
Zidado is here with us. Awesome.
We first do our first break, and when we return, Sarah will take it up with the news headlines.
Welcome to Zambia News and Information Services, your media and communication hub. Need a professional space? We offer state-of-the-art studio hire for sound and film productions. Experience comprehensive news coverage and in-depth features that bring you closer to the stories that matter. Capture your moments with our professional photography services, perfect for events, portraits, and more. Looking for eye-catching visuals? Our graphic art and design team will elevate your brand with custom solutions. Host your next event with confidence. We provide high-quality conference systems and public address systems tailored to your needs. Contact us today at zanismarketing@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 0773 809 040. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
All right, so on the headlines this week, President Hakainde Hichilema on Thursday swore in 7 public servants and urged them to support government's economic growth agenda with diligence and hard work as they assume their roles. President Hichilema says his administration is working very hard to positively alter the culture in the public sector by focusing on serving the people of Zambia with diligence and prudent utilization of public resources. Thus, one in 5 permanent secretaries, 1 ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary, and the deputy auditor general. Also in the news this week, Central Province Permanent Secretary Muna Mwanakampwe has taken a swipe at Luano Council for certifying substandard works on the construction of the 1.1 million kwacha first ever community radio station in the district. Dr. Mwanakampwe charged that some portions of the structure fall short of basic engineering. He said this when he inspected the constituency development funded radio station which is under construction in Luano district. And finally, in the headlines for the week, thieves in Mansa district have stolen equipment used in the production and issuance of Green National Registration Cards, NRCs. The stolen equipment, which is valued at 31,500 kwacha, include a typewriter, a laminator, a car battery, which was being used by a mobile NRC issuance team stationed at Mansa Primary School. Now, Luapula Province Police Commanding Officer Moala Yui said the equipment was stolen between 18 hours on 30th of June and 04 a.m. on 1st of July 2025. Mr. Yui said the team had left the equipment in a parked Toyota Hilux motor vehicle registration number GRZ 218CM, which was later broken into at Mansa Primary School. The incident was reported to police by 37-year-old Karo Chanda, an assistant registration officer, on 1st July at 13:30 hours. Mr. Yui added that police officers visited the crime scene and found the car where the stolen items were kept, with the bonnet and the doors open.
Interesting items in the news, Sarah, there. But I mean, for me, I've actually picked one story there where the permanent secretary for Central Province, Dr. Miuna Mwanakampo, is taking a swipe at a local authority in, what do you call that district again?
In Luano.
Luano, the popular Luano district. And when I talk about Luano district, which brothers are those?
The Mylon.
The Mylon brothers. I always get reminded. But then getting to the story.
Right.
Look, this issue of substandard works is not just in Luano. But again, what does it say about the engineering department of the council there? What do you think should be done? Because I think I noticed that these guys are always routinely checking on the construction works. And this is a radio
checking the
station,
standards.
of course.
Exactly. You know, actually, the Engineering Institute of Zambia had actually raised this concern. We said we are actually concerned with the standards of the works that are being done under the CDF projects. So it's not just about the radio station. I think they've alluded to structures also like schools, you know, hospitals. But I don't know at what point they are, maybe they need to collaborate.
Should the engineers be monitored?
Exactly, you know, but I think they need to just collaborate and then, you know, just share notes. I want to believe that every engineer that has been hired is qualified for the job, you know, and even if they are sent to the furthest parts of Zambia, they have the capacity to be able to implement, ensure that these projects are with meeting the standards. You know, of course, because when you look at the standards, we're not just talking about the look and feel of the structure. You're looking about the safety issues as well. So it must not just look good. It should also be safe, and also it should be sustainable. You know, it should be something that will stand the test of time. We don't want a structure that falls with the slightest commencement of rain, or is it maybe just a small storm.
Great. Sarah, again, I think on the one interesting story, it's interesting to me, though sad, the story of stolen equipment.
Yeah, NRC.
NRC. And collapsing the ongoing
process.
NRC.
Yeah,
process.
you know, that's a sad part because, you know, not everyone manages to come to Lusaka, you know, or you go to the provincial centers to have their NRCs done. So, you know, like those ones which are at the provincial centers, you know, it's covering everyone in the province, you know, even beyond, you know. So this is really retrogressive, you know.
And who does that? What do you do with NRC equipment anyway?
But anyway, the beauty is, if you notice from the story, the actual computer that has the data, you know, and the camera that they use is actually safe. Those two are safe. So which is sort of comforting. Of course, it's sad that they vandalized a government vehicle. You know, that's where this equipment was kept. So they've stolen the battery, and then they of course, for them to be able to open, they broke the window and damaged the door, which is a sad part as well. You know, so they've stolen the typewriter. You know, and then it's still really sad. I meant to ask on the security measures. I mean, if that's the place where they do their work, and they're leaving it in the car, I'm meant to believe that there was some level of security that was more or less like guaranteed.
It's always guaranteed. When such teams are being dispatched, when they are being deployed, they always have a security officer there. Yeah, at the level of police or any other, as determined by the authorities. So I don't know at what point that could have happened, but we are hoping that as the police commanding officer has stated,
They do the
Mr. Mwanayuni,
investigations.
investigations have been launched, and obviously those that have done that will be brought to book.
Yeah.
Sarah, what's coming up now?
Okay, so interesting. Now we're going to have a musical break, and I think, as Godfrey mentioned, we have Bishop Ngongolo. He's not here to preach this morning. He's here to share with us his music talents.
His music talent.
So he's really a multi-talented individual, that one.
Multi-talented.
And he's a journalist, you know that. He's a journalist like you and me.
Yeah, and not only that, he's multilingual.
Multilingual,
right? He can speak
yes.
Luba, he can speak Tonga, he can speak Bemba, he can speak Nyanja. So he's quite some talented musician.
Makes sense for a bishop. You need to know a lot of languages. All right, so here's Bishop Ngongolo.
Dancing shoes, of course.
Put on your dancing shoes. Here's Bishop Ngongolo with a music piece for us.
Chimbuzi monga ilipanja toja ukemuni nangena kudala ni itene ya maingi ya soza ngakitia
Amayachi,
the mix,
the institution, Siligonias.
It's Polly G on the beat, boy.
Siligonias.
Welcome to the fire department.
And beats.
I go by the name of D-Trek Mafia. Mbenzu wangu njinji abamarapa mbenzu wangu njinji muganinga ngugara ngati ngoyo wenka waya wati atwasiga bujoropege lusaka kwasida ngocho upege utandiboni buzima shipishi ndende memule kwasitandili waswagi poloko motokalea ndende memomi ndisami the crown tadunuga the better bot down tamuli marapa muli crown tilandi is not been holding it down until ndabola.
That was a beautiful, beautiful music piece by Bishop Ngongolo, which he had collaborated with Mumbayachi. A unique collaboration, I must say, and I did not know what to expect, but this was a brilliant, brilliant masterpiece. And we expect to hear more from the two, and of course, maybe probably with other artists in the collaboration. So right at this point, we're going to talk about the ZNS recruitment program, which the government has introduced. Godfrey,
Now, the government of the Republic of Zambia has announced the voluntary national service skills training. Now, this is to try and instill discipline and resilience among Zambian youths and deal with the problem of street kids proliferation. Joining us on set is the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Defense to help us explain more on this important program. P.S., welcome.
Thank you for having me, and greetings to the viewers out there.
Good morning, sir, once again. Sarah, you were telling me that you are interested in taking part in the voluntary national service training program. I don't know, but in the past this was something very big which government has revived. Now,
our parents actually talked about it a lot.
It actually tried to instill discipline in them. P.S. First things first. Briefly explain to us what this means, especially that we have a lot of us here, especially the Gen Zs, that may not understand what the voluntary Zambia National Service training is all about.
For a bit of a brief historical perspective, You know, I was listening to Sarah said, or is it you was saying, you know, they spoke about it, and there was an aspect of discipline. Yes, you will note that as a country in 1971, you know, we actually had this particular program, and a number of young people then were trained. And you must realize that the young people of that time now, a number of them are over 60. So we had up to 100,000 young people who were trained from 1971 to 1981 when the program was discontinued. And you also appreciate to say that in the 70s, you know, the situation which was obtaining was, you know, we still had countries within the region fighting for independence, and there was a bit of security concerns. And as government, there was a thinking to say we need to have a reserve force, a force that can be called upon if need be. And there was also a deliberate move to create a sense of identity. We are Zambians, we are patriots, this is our country, we must protect what belongs to us. You know, for those of you who had an opportunity to jump onto a train, I'm saying so because maybe majority of the people now don't use trains. You know, in the olden days, the train was one of the most common mode of transport between the southern province going on to the Copper Belt. And in there, when you get in, you'd actually be reading to say, "Oh, Ndubono Rwesu, Tutalu Nyonyoni." You know, they were communicating, say, this is your property, we must not destroy it. And the people were responsive. There was that sense of ownership to say, this is a public asset, it belongs to all of us. Fast forward, we are now in 2025, and as government, we are now saying we need to reintroduce the ZNS program. Of course, the emphasis now may be a bit more different. We are not really focusing so much on having a reserve force. We're actually looking at ensuring that we inculcate discipline, which you actually did mention. Discipline is very, very fundamental. That's why in the training program, you know, amongst the things that will be inculcated, one of the things is that we have basic military training. Everyone will have to undergo the basic military training. When I say everyone, in the first phase, we are targeting just slightly over 1,000 trainees. You know, we have people who will be training in Kitwe, in Katete, and in Kasama. You know, in Kasama, we have the ZNS Chishimba, where we are hoping to have up to 400 trainees. Then for Katete, that is at Chiwoko ZNS camp, we expect to train another 400 people there. And then Kitwe will also have up to 200 people. And it's actually important to know that as government, we will be deliberate. I think Article 259 of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia prescribes that in such recruitments, there should be regional representation and there should be gender balance. And that is exactly what we are going to do. And all this is to ensure that we are one Zambia, we are one nation, we are one people. You know, we should not just speak about it, but we should begin to live as one people. And on that score, you know, as the selection will be done and completed, as the people are now being placed in these 3 locations, we shall ensure that this is demonstrated and this is actually lived, so that when this grouping of people now graduates from the training, you know, they can go on and continue working for Mother Zambia. And for us, I think that is very, 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 very cardinal. And other than the aspect of basic military training, we are also looking at having agriculture as a compulsory course. We want everyone to be able to engage in an agricultural activity, an agriculture endeavor. You know, you should be able to farm, you should be able to produce food for yourself, food for the family, food for the country. So agriculture will be a compulsory subject. We have other skills that have been lined up to 14 or thereabout. We have some who will be training in ICT, Some will be training in bricklaying. Some will be training to be artisanal miners. You know, all that will be encompassed. Tourism has also not been left behind. We'll have people being trained in the hospitality industry. This is to ensure that as people now leave the training camps, they have the skill which will enable them to be either employed or be self-employed. So that is the whole idea around this particular venture. And I must also add on to say that, you know, in terms of the people who will be trained, of course, questions can come to say, but who is eligible? The question of eligibility
That
will
was
come.
actually going to be my next question,
exactly.
because I was thinking, I'm sure I've actually seen this on social media, you know, even just through interactions with a number of youths. Because their question is, are you going to be using the same criteria that you use to employ or to enroll people in the Defense Forces training, or it's going to be different, slightly different for this particular one? Will people like me qualify?
This is Sarah. The numbers look good, PS. But I mean, the big question is, these will have a representation from each of 156 constituencies.
That is the whole idea.
Yes, it's
but how
holistic.
will it be done at local level?
Well, the first thing that we have to look at, and indeed, is eligibility.
Right.
Is are you eligible? Is he eligible? That's a question which only the two of you can answer. But the basic criteria is this. You ask the question to say, are we going to be using the qualifications that are applied when we are employing in the national service, when we're employing in the army, when we're employing in the Air Force?
Right.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
So you will need to have a green national registration card, a green one, not a pink one. It should be stroke 1.
Not like yours.
Stroke 1. Okay? So not stroke 2. You need to be a stroke 1 for you to, first of all, qualify. Secondly, we are looking at your academic qualification.
Okay.
You must be a grade 12. You must have a full grade 12 certificate, or you must have at least 5 GCE subjects. You know, and that is the basic qualification that you need. Because the thinking is, once you are done, you are also potentially, you know, a ZNS soldier officer, or potentially a candidate of joining the army, or potentially a candidate of joining the Air Force. Potentially you can join the police, you can join immigration department, you can join Office of the President, you can join any of these, you know, security wings that we have in the country. So we want to pre-qualify, because this will be a reservoir. And we are also saying this is not just a reservoir for the public sector. It can also be a reservoir for the private sector. I mean, how many private sector companies, organizations would not want to employ a person, first of all, who has basic academic qualification, then added on to that, they've got basic military training and they've got skills. And with the basic military training comes discipline, which you alluded to. You said Gen Zs, at least it's you, the Gen Zs who are saying it, or the millennials who are saying it yourself to say you are indisciplined. I don't want to, I don't actually to say that myself,
They'll
because
come for him.
yes, you'll be saying yeah, but we have realized to say this is a problem. And perhaps even from another perspective, you know, the parents who did not undergo this military training, the way they bring up their children is different from those who did undergo military training. You find that those who underwent military training are a bit more strict the way they're bringing up their children. So we have seen...
They were brutal.
Well, look, if they were brutal, look at what brutality has produced.
Exactly.
You are sitting in front of cameras and speaking very confidently.
That's true.
Look at what they've produced. I'm able to speak and address the nation. I'm able to speak to issues of the country. I'm able to face challenges without fear. You know, because that is the importance of military training. It gives you the confidence. It gives you an opportunity to speak the truth as it is.
That
You know,
is
you don't need to sugarcoat for fear of reprise or that the young people will come for me. The reality is the reality. So in the context of this ZNS training, we're actually saying we will restrict ourselves to a number of just slightly over 1,000 because that is our capacity. We know that there are hundreds of thousands of youths who are looking for opportunities, but we cannot contain them all at once. So my appeal to members of the public is that when you are not amongst those who are selected, though you would have put in your application, do not despair. You know, do not feel left out. Do not feel angry that you've not been selected. Feel happy for those who've been selected because they've been given an opportunity. And I'm sure that, you know, if we were to turn the tables and if it is you who's selected, you would want people to be happy for you. So similarly, that is my appeal. That is the appeal that I'll be making to members of the public to say, let us feel happy for those who've been selected because they've been given an opportunity to go and train and to participate towards the economic and social development of the country. As Zambia now, our focus is to ensure that, you know, we work on our economy. And once we work on our economy, once we have, you know, we get all the macroeconomic factors okay, we'll be driving into economic development or prosperity. And once we become a prosperous nation, you know, opportunities will be many. But the critical thing is we need to have a group of people who will be disciplined, who will drive this agenda together with others who are already holding positions of authority and responsibility. So it is creating a team, creating a winning team, a team that will ensure that, you know, we go out there and lift the trophy. You know, I normally like giving examples of football. I know in this studio there's one chap who's a Man City supporter and there's another one who's an Arsenal supporter. You know, and for Man City, maybe we can excuse them a bit. They often a time they've demonstrated their ability to conquer. But for Arsenal, I think they always fire blanks. They'll be shooting at the target, thinking that they've dropped the enemy, but before they realize it, they are subdued. And another champion
the force of gravity
emerges. So we want to create a team working together. What are the challenges? We go and deal with these challenges. What are the opportunities? We keep our eyes on the ball so that we seize these opportunities, so that the benefits will be seen. Some of the benefits may not be seen today or tomorrow. Some of the benefits may be seen 10 years from now. But the critical thing is we must walk the journey. We must begin walking towards what we desire as a country. And I believe that, you know, many of the citizens out there, they're saying we want a good life. But to have a good life, you must work hard.
Exactly.
And work hard entails discipline. It entails commitment. It entails dedication. You need to sweat. When you are done with sweating, you feel good to say, I've accomplished this, and you enjoy the benefit. Even if you don't enjoy the benefit as an individual, you know, your children will enjoy the benefit, or your grandchildren will enjoy the benefit. I mean, if I work hard and I create wealth for my family, when I'm dead, and often many people sometimes are afraid of talking of death, but the truth of the matter is all of us here will die.
Exactly.
So when I'm dead, what is it that I'll leave for the next generation? You know, we need to leave a foundation for them. My father died in 2014. He sent me to school much earlier. You know, my grandfather died in 1966, but he invested in the son, who also bore another son, and the investment has continued.
Yes.
I've also continued on the same trend. I'm investing in my children in terms of education.
Right.
Even ZNS skills training, it is education. Education is very, very paramount. It forms a strong base.
Right.
So when we are all gone, what is it that we're going to leave for the next generation? So it's important that we have that focus, that the underlying thing here is discipline, discipline, and discipline. And that is what has really been lacking, especially even in the advent of social media, where you have on social media people cannot tell that this guy is an old Bali, he's bored. They'll be writing to you to say Iwe. This is a 14, 15-year-old, 16-year-old.
You're saying that,
They are addressing a person who's older than them, like they are just peers. They share the same bed. They're in the same class. So we want to see to it that notwithstanding that social media or ICT is with us, and we can't really say let us dump it. It's a very important tool if we use it correctly. So it requires discipline. That's why we are now saying let us ensure that we infuse a lot of discipline. And particularly when you're looking at the ZNS program, some of the skills that will be imparted are ICT skills. We'll have people have an option of venturing into developing the ICT skills. People have an option of venturing into artisanal mining activities. When you are done with the ZNS training, you can actually form an organized group, go and get a license, and be able to mine legally. As you are mining legally, you are earning yourself a living. As you are earning yourself a living, yes, and safely, of course. As you are earning yourself a living, you are also contributing to creating an opportunity for the next person. And that's very important. And how do you create that opportunity for the next person? When you make profits, you are paying taxes to the government. And it's the role of government to collect these taxes and spread them across the country. Put them in hospitals so that when you've got a cough, you've got access to medicine. Put them into the education sector so that we continue learning, investing in our minds. So it's a whole broad spectrum of activities. So this is the direction that we are taking through the youth, the ZNS youth training program, which we hope very soon will commence.
Sarah, I should take it that PS Mambohama was concluding, and that was quite insightful.
I actually have a question for you.
I'm hoping that you still sign up, as you explained to me before we came on stage.
He's already answered. I've already gotten my answer as to whether I qualify or not. So I'm not going to state it for now. But I just have one last question. Just one last question, PS. What I like about this program is that it is equipping these youth with skills that are really relevant for the times. You see, ICT, agriculture, mining, these are very relevant skills for the times that we're living in, and they're really going to benefit from that. Now, my question, PS, is this program a one-off just for the over 1,000 youths, or it's going to be running every year?
And of course, PS, you should combine the question for Sarah with how long will this program take when they go into?
Okay. So the training program is a 6 months program. So when they commence training, they'll have to take 6 months, to go to completion of this particular program. Right. Is it a one-off? The intention is this program must actually be sustainable. So we are looking at beyond one episode. We want to have more episodes or more engagement of youth, so that we continue bringing people together. And as I was speaking of episodes, I actually forgot to indicate to you to say we're also looking at the creative arts.
Right.
In the ZNS program. The film industry is something which is coming up very well. We had Kabanana, we had Zuva, we had, what's that program, Pali. We've got another program on Kukopala. And there are a lot of creatives that are coming on board, and we also want to ensure that we harness this particular resource and have more and more productions. A few weeks ago, we had a group of people from Nigeria who came to see how this actually aspect can be exploited. But with the ZNS training program, we would have a reservoir of people who can actually be picked, to advance this particular agenda. So this is not just a Ministry of Defense activity. It's not a Ministry of Local Government activity. It is a national program. It is encompassing all the ministries, and it is looking at the overarching interest of our country, which is economic and social development. Of course, with emphasis on the thematic areas of tourism, mining, energy, and investment in education, so that we drive this country into prosperity. So that is what we are hoping to accomplish, and we hope that 5-6 years from now, we will look back and say we have created another Hakainde Hichilema, we have created another Sarah, we've created another Mambo Hamoundu, we've created so many other people who are determined to succeed and whilst following the proper channels. And it's very, very important that we actually think from that point of view. And to the parents, really, just to encourage the parents, those who think their children require this training, you apply. But if you are not picked, do not despair. The program, like I indicated, is not a one-off. We are thinking of ways and means of how it can be sustained. This time around, through the CDF, we've gotten 17 million. And I must also mention to say that the president has been very passionate, is very passionate about this particular venture, because he's a beneficiary of the national service, is a beneficiary of free education, and he wants to pass on this to the next people. In that score, he has committed, he had made a public commitment to say he will train from his personal resources up to 200 youths. And I think this is very, very commendable. Now imagine if we have many other Hakaindes who are willing to train. The president is saying you train 200. You could come in, sponsor one, sponsor two.
Right.
Or if we don't have money, we put money, the three of us together, sponsor one person. Every step towards the target is very, very important. So let's continue moving. Let's keep focus. We have a country to develop, and it's only Zambians who can develop this, and that's why we're saying we have this onerous responsibility. But it may be onerous, but I think we've got sufficient muscle. I can see you have putting on a tight sleeve with a tight fit there, but I can see you've got quite some muscle there to push. So let's continue pushing, all of us together, no matter how heavy the burden is, working together as a team.
We can achieve it.
We can, for as long as you're not Arsenal. You can be maybe Man City, Man U or Liverpool, but not Arsenal. Arsenal have demonstrated over the past
You're not defending your team.
15 years. But he knows it's the truth. He can't defend it.
I'm not Man U. I'm not Man U. Indeed, nuggets of wisdom by PS Mambo Hamoundu. The Ministry of Defense Permanent Secretary sharing insightful stuff on the upcoming Zambia National Service Skills Training that has been reintroduced. There's already a huge boost towards that. 17 million kwacha has been released. This program is at implementation stage. We are grateful to have the Permanent Secretary coming to share with us a lot on that program. The onus is on all of us as Zambians, as the PS has emphasized. We can only take this program up as Zambians. Sarah, I'm sure you've enjoyed. Now, every question has been answered.
Yes, every question has been answered. And I think I just want to add on to what you have said. I think we'd love to see more women actually joining.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe just calling on all parents who have got girl children, to encourage them to join this program. We shouldn't make it just about, the boys. I think we should also encourage a lot more girls to also join in and benefit equally.
Yes, thank you.
Remind them of Article 259 of the Constitution.
Yes.
It prescribes that gender balance, regional representation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Grateful. We
Right.
take a very short break, and when we return, we conclude the morning blend with sports updates with Zidado Banda.
Welcome to Zambia News and Information Services, your media and communication hub. Need a professional space? We offer state-of-the-art studio hire for sound and film productions. Experience comprehensive news coverage and in-depth features that bring you closer to the stories that matter. Capture your moments with our professional photography services, perfect for events, portraits, and more. Looking for eye-catching visuals? Our graphic art and design team will elevate your brand with custom solutions. Host your next event with confidence. We provide high-quality conference systems and public address systems tailored to your needs. Contact us today at zanismarketing@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 0773 809 040. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Now, as you are aware, the Umutomboko traditional ceremony of the Lunda people takes place every year around this time of the year, and this year we're having it on the 25th and 26th of July 2025. Now, to give us more insight into this very important ceremony, we have with us in the studio the organizing chairperson, Mr. Mumalumpa, to discuss with us. Mr. Lumpa, welcome to the program, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. How's the morning?
Morning is fine.
I expected some water.
Some water. That's why we're going to give you even more. We have coffee, we have full English breakfast.
Oh, great. Yeah.
All right, so now let's talk about the Umutomboko traditional ceremony. We have very few days remaining, probably just under 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so how's the countdown going?
So
how are the preparations going?
I think preparations are going on so well. And like we we've been alluding to say, we had our first activity on the 29th of May, where we had the statue of Mata Kazembe. We had invited Zanis, ZNBC, they came to see the statue of Mata Kazembe, which will be leaving from Lusaka to Mwansabombwe. Now, what is it about Mutomboko? Mutomboko is a traditional ceremony which is celebrated by the Lunda people of Mwansabombwe. Now, why do we celebrate it? This is a national heritage which reminds us on how our forefathers left Kola to the present day Mwansabombwe.
Right.
Now, the Umutomboko is performed by His Royal Highness Mata Kazembe at every last Saturday of July. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so talking about the preparations, how ready are we right now? And is there anything that is different in this year's, any highlights in this year's celebration?
Every year, Mutomboko has to have a different touch. Like
Right.
This time around, we are saying, can we open up Luapula province as a tourist destination? So we want people to come and view the endowed part of Luapula by seeing the Luapula River, the Lake Mweru, the falls which are there, and also we've have a lot of other things which people need to come and see. Now, with regards to preparations, we lined up activities like the one I've mentioned earlier, which is the statue. Then on the 13th, we're having a golf tournament again, which is happening this month. These are some of the activities which we are doing in preparation for the great event.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was actually about to ask, about how the Umutomboko ceremony is contributing to promoting tourism in Luapula province, and you've rightly answered it already, as if you knew I was going to come to that. But what kind of people are you expecting to attend this year?
We're expecting a lot of people coming to the area. We have tourists, we have local tourism. Then we have engaged our local tour, which is Mwabamwina, who always come with people just to show them how the Lake Bangoru is lined, the Sonda Falls, the whole the Luapula River is. Because Luapula River means Luapula Mumweru, where we Bangoru. So it comes from that. Now, this is where now the activity of Umutomboko takes place, which is Mwansabombwe.
Which is Mwansabombwe.
Yes.
Oh, that is interesting.
Very interesting.
So lastly, as is with other traditional ceremonies, when there's a traditional ceremony, accommodation becomes a problem. I hear some people even sleep in their vehicles.
No.
Are there any special arrangements that you've made to just, comfort the poor
we've been working on that time in memorial, where we look at people just freeing their homes to our people coming.
Right.
So you find some people would say, okay, you can use my home. Yeah, so you just pay, you contribute something to the facility. And we have certain other places like in Kawambwa, we have lodges, we have hotels, we have Chelenge there with hotels. Even Mwansavombo, this time around, we have a lot.
Awesome.
So we don't expect people to sleep in cars. And again, the Mwabamwila tours encourage tented accommodation. So if you want to rent a tent, there are tents which will be there at 150 kwacha per night.
Oh.
So why should you say I've slept in the car? Yeah, they're at our comfort.
That is rather assuring, you know, and that's interesting to have the tent. Jeffrey, Godfrey, would you want to spend some nights in the tent?
That's a good.
It's
With this nice weather for the tent.
No, we are in the valley. Don't expect. It's in the valley. Don't expect a chilly weather.
It's quite warm.
It's warm.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
So
That
warmer
is
than-
perfect.
Yeah, it's warmer than Lusaka.
Okay,
Yeah.
and security issues?
Security issues, we wouldn't say there is anything threatening. All we just encourage is, you know, at a traditional ceremony, there are do's and don'ts. We don't expect you to be in party regalias. We want you to observe certain rules, like at the palace. We don't allow anyone to be in a cap. When you're meeting Mwata, you have to kneel and greet him 3 times, you clap 3 times. Then again, those who are attending, like ladies, you're not supposed to enter the palace, or anyone with a wound. Those are some of the things which you are supposed to observe. Then Pamuselo, that is the hammock for Mwata. Again, you cannot cross because you'll be charged. So those are the do's and don'ts which you need to observe.
Actually, I think security is really a minimal challenge in that area.
Yes.
Because I remember last time we interviewed the Mwata, he said,
So people are just security conscious
He
and
said
they wouldn't
there's
want to.
discipline, tulakanda ifokumwezi.
Discipline is there, very much there. Yeah.
Awesome. Good. Do you have any other question for Mr. Thank you so much, Mr. Lumpa.
Thank you so
very much for taking your time to come and talk to us about
Thank you so much.
this very important topic. And we wish you a very, very successful celebration.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. That was Mr. Muma Lumpa, who's the organizing chairperson of the Mtomboko traditional ceremony, which is going to be held on the 25th and 26th of July 2025. He was giving us some insight into the preparations and what we should expect at this year's traditional ceremony. We have a lot more coming up after this short break.
Attention all business owners in Zambia. Are you looking to boost your brand's visibility and reach a wider audience? Look no further than Zanis TV, your ultimate platform for advertising success. With coverage spanning every corner of Zambia, we bring your message to the masses. From the latest news updates to captivating entertainment and everything in between, Zanis TV offers a whole spectrum of content. Don't miss out on this golden opportunity. Get in touch with our marketing team on 0773 809040 or 0773 809020, or you can email zanismarketing@gmail.com or zanis.marketing@zanis.gov.zm. Join us on Topstar Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH and let your business shine like never before. Let's take your brand to new heights with Zanis TV. Zanis TV, the people's channel.
A very sad week for football. We just lost Diogo Jota, a very, very good player for Liverpool and Portugal. Terrible accident. Not only that, the same week, it's a dark cloud hovering over our football. Legendary Nigerian goalkeeper was part of the 1994 AFCON finals playing against Zambia. That reassembled side died on Thursday. It's a very sad week, Zidado. To start with, how did you receive the news of Diogo Jota's death?
Yeah, at first, when I saw the news on social media, I thought it was one of those and told myself, Lord, let this not be true. But alas, it was true. You know, at 28 and very promising footballer. Yeah, it is a very big loss to Portugal. It's a very big loss to Liverpool and to the football family altogether.
Sarah, what did you know about Diogo Jota? Anything? You supported Liverpool?
Ask her if she even knew that there was a player called.
She was surprised.
I'm a passive follower of soccer. I actually have a passion for soccer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just that after the team that I supported so much.
Arsenal?
No, I was first Barca when there was the Ronaldinos and the Eto'os, you know. And then I went to Manchester United when there was the Rooneys and the Ashley Young, you know. I was supporting Manchester United. So when Sir Alex Ferguson left the Manchester United team, I felt to settle somewhere. Because most of these teams, I feel like they are sort of temporal. So I don't want to say much because even the support has been sort of temporal. My parents were big supporters of Liverpool. Actually, my family, most of my family members actually do support Liverpool,
So
and I think it's coming from.
behalf of them.
I think it's
Jota.
coming from the fact that my parents were big Liverpool fans.
Zidane, what
So
kind
I
of
follow
thing-
Liverpool also, you know, because of I was a big fan.
But do you know anything about Diogo Jota?
Yes, I do. The guy who died in the road traffic accident about 2
Yes.
days ago.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I do follow football. I do follow. It's just that I'm not as ardent as Zidane or you. I may not have all the details on point, but I do know what is happening in the world of football.
Yeah, that's good.
Unfortunately, he was with his brother.
Yeah.
A lot of messages of condolences coming through. Cristiano Ronaldo has already sent in his message of condolences. Alexander Arnold. Camera 3?
Yeah, Blacker. Most and for Salva Sports. More than I'm not dressed for sports. So you were talking.
So what do we do? BMAC, we continue. We just continue. Where? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Zidane, we are told that Diogo Jota was with his brother.
Yeah,
Messages
with
of condolences have continued to pour in. Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT, has already sent in his. Alexander Arnold has already done, and many others. Liverpool fans are actually engulfed in grief as we speak. And talking of which, the teams that have remained in the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup tonight, of course, we have the games it's about to get down.
Yeah, it is now getting very interesting. The cheese has been removed from the chaff. Yeah, we have Real Madrid. This is Borussia Dortmund. What a crack of
So you
a
mean
game.
Man City is a chaff?
Yeah, Man City, of course, we know. You know, I always tell many people that, you know, in Zambia, we watch too much English football. And we think that English football is the best football. Like the Bemba said, umwana oshienda atashabanyina ukunaya. But after
It's
watching...
Ukunaya, not Ukunaya.
Oh, okay. After watching this FIFA World Cup, a lot of guys are surprised to see that, you know,
Saudi
there are,
Arabia.
yeah, there are teams which are strong in Saudi
How
Arabia, which they
Hilal.
call
How we allow.
you know, the Brazilian guys, the South
Teams.
Americans. You know,
Shocking.
yeah, people are shocked to feel, we thought Saudi Arabian League was a farmers league, but see what happened to
So who is
Man
now
City.
farming between Man City and...
Yeah, which is
and
the
we have heard the
farmers
stories
league.
of them condemning Fashion Sakala to say, no, after all, he's even playing in the Farmers League.
Yeah, but look what the farmers leagues have done. So,
So
I
how
think
does it look like tonight?
tonight, of course, Dortmund will be, they can't survive against Real Madrid. Then Chelsea.
Are you sure?
I'm very much sure.
Why do you say so?
Then Chelsea against the South Americans, the Brazilians. I don't see Chelsea surviving. Let's watch and see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
let's
when
wait
you
and
talk
see.
about Chelsea, many are predicting that Chelsea might even win the competition because they look to be among the favorites.
No, okay. If you see the path which Chelsea went through, I don't think it was a strong path. Now in the as we have now going into the knockout stages, they are now facing the tough teams. So let's wait and see which team is going to survive. Okay, let's just say the best team win.
Let's now go to the big one. the WAFCON. Our girls playing the opener.
Yeah, the WAFCON is starting tonight, and the Copper Queens are in there in Rabat. Yeah, we wish them all the best.
It's a tough group.
Yeah,
DR Congo.
yeah.
They have tried to rope in some players coming from France.
Yeah, they have put in players from France, Belgium, the DR Congo.
So it will be a tough side?
Yeah, it will be a tough side. But Godfrey, even in the Zambian team, we have a very strong women's team.
Only if we get back to Chipante Pante, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's it's just I hope by now Coach Nora knows which piece, which player to play at which position.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Sarah, do you think the girls are going to bring it? They have unveiled a very, very beautiful trophy,
Right.
and we missed last time. We have the defending champions, South Africa, there. Are they going to stand in our way again?
You know, I want to stay positive. Okay, that we have learned from mistakes that we made during the last tournament, and we build on that, and then we come out stronger. I believe our girls are really strong. You know, they really know the game very well, and they have the physique, you know, and the experience. We have a lot of experienced players who are playing in other leagues, so we expect that they bring that experience into this national, you know, program. Not I don't mean national program in terms of.
WAFCON.
Do you know what I mean? I mean it is for Zambia.
Okay,
As they are representing Zambia, they
hear
bring
you.
the
I
experience
hear you.
which they have from all these other tournaments that they've been playing from, and then, you know, be able to showcase, you know, very good football on behalf of Zambia. I'm rooting for them. I am very confident that they're going to bring it home.
Is that
And
the-
Godfrey, we don't have excuses this time.
Oh.
We all have our ammunition. We have our best
Team
the best
assembled.
players. Yes, there's no this one is no.
And they've
We
got their allowances, right?
Yes, and everything is in place.
We'll talk
So there are no
about that.
excuses.
Okay. Look, ladies and gentlemen, there is one trending video on social media. It is making rounds on social media as we speak, of an 8-year-old girl in Kasempa. Her name is Janet. So
Right.
there's this man who has been cycling to try and raise awareness on traditional ceremonies. His name is Yeye International.
Yeah,
So
oh, yes.
this girl marathoned for 1 hour, running non-stop.
Wow.
And when you watch this video, let's just have a look at this video, and we'll talk about it, Zidado.
We've watched the video.
Okay. So, now, after seeing this video on social media, I think it actually went viral. The Zambia Athletics had a look at it. Many eminent individuals, including prominent Lusaka lawyer and journalist Dixon Jerry, penned very nice articles about this girl, some support
Awesome.
from organizations. And I saw the latest one, which I saw yesterday from Zala Samkonga, where he's saying he needs to meet this girl because, according to his assessment, she's showing serious signs of being a big athlete. in
Exactly,
this country,
because
a big
8 is too
runner.
young, you know, when you think about it. And if she can see that talent at that young age, I think we need to take advantage of these, you know, these opportunities and, you know, nurture and that talent. I don't think these marathon runners that we see started at 20 or 30 years. They probably started quite young. So I think it's a very good thing that we have been able to identify this talent at this tender age. We need to carry her through.
Nice. Major Wadia went there.
Yeah, it's good that Zambia Athletic Association, the big boss himself,
At presidential level.
went and met the girl and her parents.
Right.
And now, if this is the talent which we need, imagine Godfrey, an 8-year-old girl running continuous for 1 hour.
Yeah.
For 1 hour, continuous. That on itself is talent.
Raw talent.
Yeah, raw talent, and tapped and trained talent.
I don't think Godfrey can do even 30 minutes. And then that 8-year-old is doing 1 hour.
Sarah, let's not even go to 30 minutes. Just 5 minutes.
Guys, you really know me.
I've seen Godfrey just and the man. Now it's getting general. No.
After 5 minutes, he's on life
But for
support.
1
I
hour.
was running a school actually. Serious, on a serious
Awesome.
note.
So we need to nurture this talent. If you see at the great marathon runners from Ethiopia, from Kenya,
Elite
that's
Kipchoge.
the age when they start running. They start them young until they develop into full-blown athletes. And what impressed me a lot was, again, where Zah said they will combine her nurturing talent and her education. They want to make sure that they go hand to
Hand in
hand.
hand.
That's very good, and that's the talent which we need in Zambia.
And I think this particular situation should actually encourage us, or it tells us that we need to start scouting for talent. Let's stop looking at Lusaka or who manages to come to Lusaka. For these marathons. What about we have a program where we scout, we go around to look for athletes, the way we do it for soccer players. What about all these other sports disciplines like running? This. So why can't we start a program to scout for talent in these far-reaching
It's actually
areas?
already on the cards, and Zede are doing it. We can
Which
only,
is very good.
Yeah. I mean, we can only talk about the key talking points, of course. Zidado, I mean, there's more coming next week.
Yeah.
We'll continue and we'll see what will happen after you have said Chelsea are not going beyond the quarterfinals. I want to see something Saturday next week.
All right.
Sarah, Zidado will join us next week. I want to see what will happen.
Are you going on the track, the two of you, so that we see who's going to go on life support? Oh, well, sadly, this is where we end for this morning's episode of The Morning Blend. But the good news is that we are here again next Saturday with more interesting items on our programming. We thank you once again for joining us, and we hope you have learned something, you've picked something from this program, especially from PS's information that he shared with us on the Zambia National Service Program, as well as the Umutomboko traditional ceremony, and also what we had shared in the world of sports. Godfrey, are we expecting to see you next week?
Definitely.
Are you here to stay?
Here to stay. It can only get better on the Morning Blend.
Awesome.
Yeah, every Saturday we are getting better. We're bringing more and more interesting guests, more interesting conversations. Unfortunately, whatever goes up
must come down.
Must come down.